Namaskar, welcome students. In this video, we will discuss important headlines of the Hindu newspaper 25th July 2022 of Delhi edition. Our first important headline is Andhra Pradesh on alert as water rises in Godavari. It is available on page number 1 related to paper 3 disaster and management. So recently water levels in Godavari and its tributaries increased due to the discharge from Polavaram project. Polavaram project क्या है? It is a multi-purpose irrigation project on Godavari River in Andhra Pradesh. तो क्या हुआ कि concerned agencies were put on alert in the wake of rising water levels within the state. Boats and essential commodities such as drinking water, medicines, milk, generators, diesels and vegetables will be made available in flood affected areas. अगर हम additional information की बात करें तो Godavari is the largest river in peninsular India and known as Dakshina Ganga. Godavari basin is the second largest basin after Ganga basin, accounts for nearly 9.50% of total geographical area of the country. River rises in Sahyadris, kahan pe? Near Trimbakeshwar in Nashik district of Maharashtra, flows across the Deccan Plateau from western to eastern Ghats. Main river flows through कौन सी स्टेट से? Maharashtra, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, right? And finally falls into Bay of Bengal, right? Our next important headline is Wind power rates may bottom out. Available on page number 1, related to paper 3, environment section. In this article, we have to know about the wind power in India, challenges with the wind sector, government policies to promote wind sector, and way forward. So recently क्या हुआ कि Ministry of New and Renewable Energy said that it would be doing away with the practice of reverse auctions. Reverse auctions क्या होता है? When companies bid to offer the lowest price while awarding contracts for setting up wind energy projects. There were complaints from the industry that e-reverse auctions are leading to tariffs being artificially lowered, leading to unhealthy competition. अगर हम इंडिया के विंड सेक्टर की बात करें तो it is led by indigenous wind power industry and has shown consistent progress. The expansion of wind industry has resulted in a strong ecosystem. Project operation capabilities. Currently, country has fourth highest wind installed capacity in the world. India has committed to installing 60,000 megawatt of wind power projects by 2022, but only met 2/3 of the target. If you want to know more, you can follow this link, right? Our next important headline is weighing in on India's investment-led revival. Available on page number 6, related to paper 3, economy section. In this article, we have to know what are the major outcomes of third G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting and their relevance. So recently क्या हुआ है कि निर्मला सीतारमन at third G20 finance minister and central bank governors meeting said that India's long-term growth prospects are embedded in public expenditure programs and an increase in public investment would crowd in private investment, thus reviving the economy, right? Our next important headline is MC12 over its gain for the developed world. Available on page number 6, related to paper 2, international relations and institutions. In this article, we have to know what are the outcomes of recently concluded 12th ministerial conference of World Trade Organization, concerns for India and path ahead for India at WTO. तो क्या है कि आउटकम की अगर हम बात करेंगे तो यूरोपियन यूनियन एंड सम डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज आर ओवरवेलमिंग विनर्स while India find itself on losing side. अगर हम बात करें यूरोपियन यूनियन की तो यूरोपियन यूनियन has also scored important gains in two other areas. कौन से हैं? WTO reform and environment issues. In the name of WTO reform, European Union sought to make fundamental changes to the institutional architecture of WTO. It also sought to give former role to the private sector in the WTO process, and it has secured both these objectives in ministerial outcome. European Union has also managed to create a window to pursue negotiations on the issues related to environment at WTO, an issue which is an issue of concern for many developing countries. अगर इंडिया की बात करें तो इश्यू ऑफ परमानेंट सोल्यूशन टू पब्लिक स्टॉक होल्डिंग वाज आइडेंटिफाइड बाय इंडियन मिनिस्टर ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री एज बीइंग इट्स टॉप मोस्ट प्रायोरिटी डिस्पाइट हैविंग द सपोर्ट ऑफ मोर देन 80 developing countries. This issue has not found mention anywhere in the ministerial outcome. India has also failed in many of its other objectives such as securing right to raise revenues by taxing electronic transmissions. In the area of fisheries subsidies, it gets 2 years to have suitable regulatory mechanism in place to monitor fish catch and reporting. Otherwise, subsidies to traditional fishermen will be prohibited, although it has secured a temporary reprieve to provide subsidies for enhancing its fishing fleets. It will have to fight an uphill battle on the issue in future negotiations. अगर हम overall path ahead for India at WTO की बात करें तो it is difficult. India's negotiation need to undertake soul searching to learn lessons from the dynamics at MC12 and make course corrections, right? Our next important headline is adding digital layer of indignity. Available on page number 7, related to paper 2, governance section. In this article, we have to know what are the digital initiatives in governance, issues linked to them, and what lies ahead. जो initiatives हैं, ये article दो important initiatives के बारे में बात कर रहा है. एक तो इंटीग्रेटेड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट स्कीम एंड एमजी नरेगा. तो अगर हम बात करें तो इन 2021 यूनियन गवर्नमेंट लॉन्च्ड पोषण ट्रैकर, which is a centralized platform to monitor all nutrition initiatives, including Integrated Child Development Scheme, also known as ICDS. As per Union Government Circular, the updating of Aadhaar of ICDS right holders, including children on the Poshan tracker, is mandatory, and subsequent central fund for supplementary nutrition to state is being made contingent on this. Nearly, अगर हम issues की बात करें तो nearly 3/4 of the children between the age of 0 to 5 do not have Aadhaar cards, and Supreme Court order specify that children cannot be denied their rights for lack of Aadhaar. Government has responded by saying that only Aadhaar of mothers need to be authenticated at Angandwaris. However, it does not provide any data on evidence to show many fake or ghost children there are, right? As per the recent National Family Health Survey, 36% of children under the age of 5 are stunted, and nearly 1/3 children in this age group are underweight. These are pre-pandemic numbers, and this would have worsened since the pandemic, right? अगर दूसरा जो part है वो it is talking about MG Narega. Union government has issued an order introducing National Mobile Monitoring Software app to record attendance of MG Narega workers at worksite. As per the order, the app will record 2 time-stamped and geotagged photographs of the workers in a day, which increases citizens' oversight of the program, besides potentially enabling process of payments faster. In worksites with 20 or more workers, the app will replace physical attendance registers. Some studies articulate the perils of such move. कैसे? MG Narega workers could complete their share of work and leave. This gave them time for household work or for other work that give them supplementary income. The app makes this hard as they have to stay back at the work site even after completing their work, only to get photographed and geotagged. Even from hard economic standpoint, this move deters workers' contribution to GDP. Attendance at work site taken by maids, who are usually local women in charge of work site supervision. Now maids have to carry smartphones, which many don't own, right? तो अगर हम way forward की बात करें तो we have made huge technological strides in the country, but we have paid scant attention in ensuring that poor get to see clearly. While Indian states has put so much weight behind seeing its people, the majority are unable to see and scrutinize government actions. Democratic dictum suggests that people should be able to see the state clearly, not other way around. It is the dignity, trust of people at stake otherwise, right? अगर हम additional information की बात करें which is related to this article, जैसे this it is talking about ICDS. It was launched in 1975. It is one of the world's largest early childhood care development program. An important component of ICDS is supplementary nutrition for children of 0 to 6 years age group, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. This became a legal entitlement when it became part of National Food Security Act 2013. अगर हम मनरेगा की बात करें तो it aims to provide at least 100 days of guaranteed wage employment in financial year to every rural household whose adult members volunteer to do unskilled manual work, right? Our next important headline is a shot in the arm for rule of law. It is available on page number 7, related to paper 2, governance section. In this article, we have to know about the Supreme Court's recent observation on indiscriminate arrest, key analysis, and way forward. So recently, in Satyendra Kumar Antil versus Central Bureau of Investigation 2022, Supreme Court expressed its unhappiness with the current state of India's criminal justice system. The court said there was a scant regard for violation of basic human rights. It was categorical that indiscriminate arrests are indicative of colonial mindset and create an impression of India being police state. The highlights of the court's observations were assent on safeguarding basic human rights, the emphasis on quickening the pace of trials, and suggestions for a new bail act analogous to existing UK legislation. Right? Our next important headline is a recap of the monkeypox outbreak, available on page number 8, related to paper 3, science and technology part. In this article, we have to know about the monkeypox, what causes the disease, right? So it was discovered in 1958 in monkeys, right? It is a zoonotic virus that can infect humans as well as other animals, including rodents and other primate species. The first case in humans was identified. अगर हम first case की बात करें तो it was in humans. It was identified in 1970. If you want to know more about monkeypox, you can follow this link, right? Our next important headline is the challenges of fiberization ahead of India's 5G deployment, available on page number 9, related to paper 3, science and technology part. In this article, we have to know what are the challenges of fiberization ahead of India's 5G deployment. अगर हम फाइबराइजेशन की बात करें तो इट इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ कनेक्टिंग रेडियो टावर्स with each other via optical fiber cables. It helps provide full utilization of network capacity and carry large amount of data once 5G services are rolled out. अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें तो where does India stand with respect to tower fiberization? To transition into 5G, India needs at least 16 times more fiber. In India, currently only 33% of the towers are fiberized compared to the 65 to 70% in South Korea, 80 to 90% in US, Japan and China. अगर challenges की बात करें तो India is preparing to auction off about 72 gigahertz of airwaves to roll out 5G services in the country. However, infrastructure needed for such a rollout requires existing radio towers to be connected via optical fiber cables. The work of connecting the towers could prove to be huge challenge for the country. अगर ways to handle की बात करें तो there is a need to increase data capacity in fiberized towers, and to reach the targeted level of fiberization, India requires about 2.2 lakh crore of investment, right? Our last important headline is study on snow leopard and its prey, available on page number 12, related to paper 3, environment section. In this article, we have to know facts related to snow leopard and recent study linked to them. अगर हम स्नो लेपर्ड की बात करें तो इसका जो हैबिटेट होता है वो कोल्ड हाई माउंटेन होता है, राइट? एंड ये पाए जाते हैं कहाँ पे? 12 कंट्रीज में, इंक्लूडिंग चाइना, भूटान, नेपाल, इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान, रशिया एंड मंगोलिया, राइट? अगर इसका हम IUCN स्टेटस की बात करें तो इट इज डिक्लेयर्ड एज वनरेबल, राइट? इट इज डिक्लेयर्ड एज वनरेबल, right? If you want to know more about snow leopard, you can follow this link. So that's all we have in today's discussion. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.